Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to PCM23. This is Lions episode number 25. We continue on here with the Settimana race. We're currently in the lead of the race. We got 3 guys placed in the top 10. We've already won the stage that we needed to succeed with the sponsor objective. In fact, we've won 2. But what we're doing at this point is trying to manage to gain some serious pluses in the noteworthy results column by winning the race overall. We lead. It's stage 4 of 6. This can be a tricky profile, or can be rather straightforward and simple. But we lost a rider due to injury, fractured skull, by the way. So we're down to 6. And because we lead, we have to control tempo. So I can't protect our leaders the way I normally would. It's very much a different position that we are not used to being in as a team. As you get better, you find yourself in that situation more and more. But it's very much not common ground for us. The breakaway had 10, nearly had 20. We pulled back the secondary group of 10. The 10 that then got away when they went over the first uncategorized climb of the day. 3 riders ended up being dropped during that stretch. We pulled them back. So now there are just 7, making the group much more manageable. And while they tried to attack and really put some time into us, they had almost gotten out to 5 minutes with just a little bit of effort and a little bit of support from other teams, thankfully. We have been able to already pull that back to 4 minutes. But we are going to back off a little bit as we head into it all's cat. This is a big task. This is a big ask for the front group, for our team to get through this thing unscathed. Now the good news is our key guys, the guys that are well placed in the standings, have their race day condition bonuses. That was expected because we set ourselves up very, very well for this race. I put a lot of time and effort into Fitness Peak's objectives for some key races, and this was one of those very key races that I marked on our calendar, and we're seeing the results of that as there are now just 6 riders off the front, and they are all kinds of split up as there's only a single pair left. The rest of them are all individual. Meanwhile, the front rider still at 4 minutes. Roteus here, first guy for us that may see himself dropped, but we are very much at the top. There's a small chance that he hangs on here and gets some recovery and is able to provide at least a little bit of support on the climb to come. We're at 81k to go. I do think I should send somebody back here to get water. Burhi, how are you doing on downhill? Go for it. Roteus here is behind him. So that's going to be a problem. No, he's been dropped. He has been dropped. Otto, we'll get you out of that mix. Burhi gets that water a little bit easier. We are down a rider now, though. But just 43 left in the peloton. I like that. I like that. We've got 5 of 6 guys on a much smaller group around us. Okay, we're going to push a little bit harder this time. It's back up to 70. Roteasir is back. Should be protecting Settimana, not Burhi. Should be working at the front, but he really doesn't have enough left in the tank. We're going to gel up to... That didn't last long. Just going to gel up to give him a chance to, do his thing. Let's push a 78, make it a little bit easier to hold our position. Group's getting smaller, so falling out the back can happen rather quickly. And let's go gel up for De Villiers as well, as we want to make sure. Oh, wait, whoa. Just hold on a second here, folks. This is suddenly going into the danger zone of getting dropped. Like Roteus here, again. Nope. Burhi. Still separation here. Okay, we bring it back to the first group. Burhi, go back to sitting on, and a Shimway. Pull this back. We didn't get dropped, but there were splits, and those splits are now leaving us a little bit on the back foot here. Keep De Villiers up there. Shimway. Let's work harder to chase this thing down. As that's definitely more than that couple of bike links that it was there initially. These guys are all fine. The descent will allow them to recover. But 3 of these guys are in the top 10. Gap goes out. That means the front group is trying to put their foot down. So you're going to drop back and make sure we get these guys back into the group. We're about to hit this climb, so that's going to add to the firepower. Really, really technical through here, so it makes it really difficult to do much pulling. There you go. De Villiers is here. We lost 15 seconds there from De Villiers going straight to the front and a Shimway just hitting the brakes to let him take the front instead of continuing to ride, and De Villiers filling in behind him. That was rather silly. We got work to do here. Front group is starting to split up. That's how hard they're pushing. And now we are starting to drop riders as well. The absurd technical portion of this really makes it hard to just get a good hard acceleration. But there is a little support there now. We had a couple more riders going for it. Yeah, the front group is just completely getting destroyed. Down to 32 riders, and I think it's the front now. I don't think there's a breakaway any longer. No, yeah, we're 3 minutes down. There is still a breakaway. Can't believe that we still... Oh, Shimway is done. Shimway is done, and so we're down to 3. New strategy. Reverse order of what their standings are and push. Now we're considered the peloton. We've pulled back enough key riders apparently. 99 effort, please. Because that gap just suddenly got bigger. That front group is all about the effort that they're making right now. We've split off everybody else. So we just left the rest of that group behind. So that 20 to 30 riders that we were pulling back have now all been ditched, and now we've got 3 guys trying to make up the ground and get back in this thing. This is not good. This is not good. The first breakaway is still comfortably away, and then to try to conserve a little bit of energy, we just drifted towards the back end. We were still comfortable, right? We had the one guy, Burhi, that had gotten backwards a little bit too far. We are going to have to take a turn with Settimana. We're dropping riders here. Him without his red bar, a few guys made contact, and or we picked up a few guys. Drop the rest of those guys too. But this is crazy that that front group is able to go this pace. That's it for climbing. That is it for climbing. We have 9K. We are not going to make contact, which is just insane. But how far back are we? Remember, we had a pretty healthy advantage in the rankings, but we are losing time today. That minute 17 is going down. Is Hershey in the front group? Is Vermark in the front group? Settimana regains contact. 5K to go, but he's got nothing to offer for this chase down the stretch here. This is what I was talking about, though, having such a weak team. 2.7. He's sprinting. He's got no red bar, so sprinting right now is only going to go so fast. Minute 30 to the front group. And Hershey even takes the stage win. Jeez. Boy, and a minute 30 lost. Wow. Wow. That's what happens when you only have 6 riders. None of them have good flat ratings. So unfortunate that the field happens to split on that climb, right? Because we had energy. Those around us looked like they had energy. And then the group just happens to split. You know, there's two sides to the coin of, do you push crazy hard to hold your position at the front? Energy drains a lot faster when you have a low 70s or a high 60s rating. That is pretty costly. In hindsight, on this occasion, you'd say, well, obviously you had to put the more effort in and don't allow yourself to drift. We didn't fall out the back, but the group still split. Grand scheme, over hundreds of stages, the energy we save by drifting a little bit is hugely important to being successful with an inferior team on the hardest difficulty. So it's necessary. It works 99 times out of 100. Today was that 100th time. Today was the one time where the drift cost us big time. And I mean, come on. Mark Hershey's got 80 plus. He is so strong compared to us. And there was some firepower in that group that pushed on. And we blew up most of the guys that had been up there, caught up, passed, but we never recovered the ground. And we went through our whole team to try to do that. We still finished 23rd on the stage. So from 50 guys plus 10 ahead of us, or plus 7 ahead of us. So from 57 guys, we got past 30 of them, but ouch. Stelic and Settimana both get a minute 39 and lost. Burhi 4:53 down. So this is once again going to shake up the standings on the stage that I didn't expect to. I mean, 2 big climbs, and for us that's hard. But Mark Hershey and the Huggins Berman Axion team just kicked our butts. How is Mark Hershey way down there with them? I mean, 74 medium mountain, but that 79 hills these days, the 74 and 80 sprint, 83 downhill. Yeah, 73 flat. We just could not keep up with that. And he had support. We had support for maybe 2 out of those 50 kilometers that we were chasing, maybe 3 kilometers. The rest of it, we were at the front chasing alone. Down to 3rd, Hershey and Vermark move into the top of the standings, just 30 seconds behind for Johannes Dalek. Settimana falls to 14th. And Burhi is nowhere to be seen. So now it's all about Johannes Dalek and trying to hang on to a podium, which is still going to be worth pluses, still in the noteworthy results category. Maybe we aim for another stage here in these last 2. Stage 5, chance at redemption or chance to lose more time. I mean, it really could go either way. We have the right race day condition, though it's actually still a negative draw. Shimway and De Villiers both picking up pretty hefty negatives, but Roteasir, Settimana, Johannes Dalek, Burhi right where they should be. Burhi, I put him in the break after all the time he lost, so if the breakaway were to succeed today, it's a great opportunity for him to gain back a bunch of time. So 3.5 minute advantage for the 7 riders in the break, but Burhi, as we're going through this climb, is struggling. De Villiers already dropped. Shimway now dropped. And we're down to just 30 riders. Roteasir on the verge of getting dropped. Now this is a crazy stage that we saw. And the field was not anywhere near as deep last year as it is this year when we did this stage. Love this stage. Absolutely love this stage. It's so exciting. But, man, oh man, was that intense. Now, Settimana is way down to 14th, so Settimana absolutely will be sacrificed to help Johannes Dalek. Burhi in the front 5 now, with Franco, Tendin, Scaroni, and Gornalik. What do we have in terms of their quality? Burhi's a 76 today, but he got awfully tired on that last kind. Franco is the one guy who's pretty decent in that. Those guys are not good, so he does have an advantage there. But this is definitely a deeper field than what we had last year, and I'm down to 2 riders. So, tricky situation. We'll leave Burhi up there, leave him on auto for now. Sucks that Roteasir got dropped and a Shimway got dropped. I was hoping those guys could hang on a bit longer, be of more use today for the climbing. We need to do that. as we're already into that final circuit. Up, down, up, down, up, down, and tired. Down to 4 at the front. Down to 26 here. Settimana almost to the top. Let's go ahead and get water one final time. Fairly small group. Definitely no one coming back at it. I mean, okay, Johannes Dalek is getting stronger right now as the climbs go on. He's getting more recovery than hurt at the moment. Settimana staying the same. However, as things are going on, he just went and got water. So, you know, that generally hurts you more. Burhi now in the final 2 with Gornalik. Punchy guy. Good flat rating. Decent downhill guy. Burhi having a real chance. 3:48 ahead of the peloton. He is looking like he does have a real chance today. And just 4 riders left off the front. Down to 24 in the group. Johannes Dalek. Again, more recovery happening for him. Almost back to full strength. And Settimana is also getting just a little bit stronger. Back to a front 4. Back to a front 4. 3:30, their advantage with 30k left to go. I'm not worried about the KOM, but somebody might be. Down to 3 again. With us this time now is Scaroni. And they're both attacking. Soft attack just to keep position with these guys. Okay, 24 riders here at the same point. Really confusing with all the mess of lapped riders. But we've got 23 in the group. 3 at the front. There has been an attack, it looks like. Tendon. No, that's Franco. So is Tendon the one who attacked? No way. Tendon's too far ahead. Johannes Dalek back to full strength and Settimana getting closer. We don't want to chase things down. Burhi looking really good to move way up the standings, but he's 538 down overall, so he's going to move up, but he's not going to do more than that. He's certainly not going to contest for the race at 4 minutes down overall. Or 4 minutes ahead of the peloton, that is, and 5 minutes plus down overall. 3 climbs to go. Got to watch out for the action. It could kick off here at some point. Okay, tempo has started to pick up here. We've dropped some riders. We're down to 21. We caught the other guys in no man's land, the 2 that were in there in between. So we've gotten smaller by about 5 riders. And you can see that it did do some punishment. Burhi. Got a little recovery there, but it's not much. But forcing these 2 to do the work for now. Gonna have to start trying to manage both. That's tricky. Okay. Gonna start managing our position here. Make sure we don't slip back. Especially as we are back and forth between the 2. Burhi's trying to save it for the final climb. They're not going to drop him, so Gornalik not looking too strong. Not contributing either. Down to 20, we drop another rider. Settimana starting to feel it. And more riders dropped. And the gap's coming down pretty quick at 2:12. But again, Burhi right now is all about the stage, so we are going to sit up. He's got 2 teammates here that could also potentially do something and could use his help. So back up to 19 or down to 19? Did we just drop more riders, or did we have a couple guys latch back on because the pace lifted a little? 2:05 the gap. And one last recovery stretch. This time we have a little bit of energy, so we are setting ourselves up nicely for that final climb. And at 2 minutes, it seems like they're going to still be away. So, and we're down to 16, so it is decreasing, not increasing. Gel for Settimana. Okay, minute 52, the advantage up to 92. Burhi, 3.3K. Attack to get separation. And he's got the separation. Use up the red bar. There you go. 2.7. Now he's best with the medium mountain, but we're not going to get into that medium mountain, I don't think. He's got a 30-second separation, and here comes the attack from Grossschartner for Mark. Guy's responding. Settimana responding. Burhi still 1.7, so backing off. And now out of energy, so just get to the finish line, 43 seconds ahead. Grossschartner still up the road. Grossschartner is 12th overall, so he's really not the threat. Okay, red bar's gone, so Settimana given what he's got. Hershey for Mark going for their final attacks. What are we at? 1.5K. Getting a little bit more from Johannes Settimana. Johannes Dalek. Oh, he can't get through. He can't get through. Burhi has not even reached the finish yet. He's only 14 seconds ahead. They're going to catch him. They're going to catch him. Oh, he's not going to win. It's Grossschartner who gets Burhi at the line. Then Hershey. Those guys were too strong. They covered too much gap. Johannes Dalek, 9th. Settimana, 13th. Too strong, too deep of a field. Burhi had to recover to have a chance. That allowed the gap to come down by a minute. He did beat his breakaway guys, but Grossschartner, Hershey timed things perfectly, and wow. Johannes Dalek should be hanging on to 3rd. Hopefully. Gaps were pretty close behind. I don't know why I care. It's 27 minutes down overall. Just something about not giving up and finishing the job, right? So standings after 5 stages, 5 difficult stages. Johannes Dalek still on the podium, minute 3 behind. Hershey and Vermark pulling away a little bit. Settimana is back up into 11th position. Burhi climbs back up into 17th. This has been a very difficult race. Quality so much deeper than what was in the field last season, at least from what I can remember. We had a fairly weak field and did pretty damn good, but this year there's some quality out there, and that quality has been difficult to beat. We have done well, but we've also found it challenging at other times. Stage 6 is a much easier one with a looping circuit. The climb's not too bad. We've got to do it 3 more times with 60K to go. The breakaway, 9 riders, 3 minutes. Didn't bother getting in it today as I wanted to protect, as we're back up to 3 guys that are in a decent position to do something, protect their GC hopes. Race day condition, it's a tricky thing when you're in the scenario that we are in. Scenario being that 5 of these 6 riders are on fitness peaks and have objectives and either have a +4 or +5 expected. Now, on paper, we've got a -4 today. But Settimana and Burhi, the only two candidates with +5s that may have drawn better than a +5, and we just don't know it. We can't see it. Therefore, that could have offset that. Probably not. You're probably not going to get a +4 out of those two guys, so it's still probably a slight negative draw today. I would imagine we probably have maybe +2 from those guys, is what I would think, what I would expect. And let's take things more seriously here. Do not get dropped again, please. Thank you. Coming up on that last climb already here of this race. It's final stage, so this will decide it. So we are looking pretty firmly at that third place. Still 119 in the group. We are going to set things up to try to shrink that peloton down and maybe catch a few guys out, but I want to make sure that all three of my leaders are still getting over the top of that climb and in the group that will try to see out the end of the stage here. And therefore, I only have 3 to use, and Roteasir is already pretty dang tired as far as things go there. Shimway, De Villiers, they have some energy. Nope, Roteasir is not even going to help us. So I only have 2 guys to use up on the climb. Don't think we're going to necessarily even want to bother with that at this point. I don't think we're likely to get anyone dropped. So we'll just kind of push on, hold our position. 2.4K, and no, we are going to respond. Why? Because there's 9-10 riders trying to attack. Much bigger than I expected. 37 riders left. Just 2 riders left off the front. Are any of them key guys? Yeah, it's Grossschartner. And then the last breakaway rider. So Grossschartner, you add in the +3 to 4. He's pretty dang strong. And he looked strong yesterday too. Once we get back in position with Burhi, we're going to sit on. Group now looking at 22 chasing those 2, but we are not going to have to lead this chase. That's not our role, but I do need Burhi in position. There you go. This is going to allow that heart rate to drop, get some recovery in it, at least for Settimana and Johannes Dalek. Burhi a little bit. Just 6 seconds, 5 seconds, and there you go. Back together, 24 riders at the front. This is what I was hoping and expecting. But we're seeing an attack now from Vier. Back together once again. 3K to go. 99 territory for Settimana without the red bar. Can only push so hard, so fast. You can see he can't overtake these guys. He's just doing what he can. 1.6, 1.4. Leading out Johannes Dalek, and Johannes Dalek sprinting out of there. And that's going to do it for this Settimana race. Mark Hershey wins. Wins again. Man, he's won 3 stages, 4 stages. I'm happy we won 2. I'm really happy we won 2. Mark Grossschartner both in the top 6. Johannes Dalek gets 9th. Arroyo is here. We haven't even seen much of him. That's how difficult this race has been. Got a rider like Arroyo, strong puncher like him. Seeing that we barely made it to the finish line other than Johannes Dalek with, an ounce of energy left in our other 2 guys, I'm glad we didn't try to do anything on that final climb to split up the field, as the other teams did that just fine on their own. 10-second separation, so healthy bonuses for these 4. Let's hope none of them were just behind Johannes Dalek, as he had a very small gap. He could be off the podium here, but he's not. He hangs on. That is a 3rd place for Johannes Dalek. Settimana up 2 spots to 9th, so a top 10 for him. Burhi up 1 spot, but it's only 16th, so I'm not sure he's going to score points. What's the cutoff? 13th, 17th, somewhere in that range. Not a bad showing at all. Would have been nice to hang on to that win, but it looked difficult from the moment we had it. We do not have a team built to protect a lead. We don't have a team built to get a lead, but we managed to do that, which was awesome. But with Mark Hershey and Kevin Vermark, those guys are way too strong for us. But we hung in there okay. It would have been nice if that, how different it may have been if that stage 4 split, double split in the peloton hadn't happened, if we had been on the front end when that happened, how different it would have been. Would we have lost any time that day? Would we still be in this position? How much stronger would the attack have been on stage 5, stage 6, if Hershey and Vermark were chasing as opposed to locking down their position? Because we saw how strong and how brutal it was when they were chasing. Like I said, we might have been able to hang on to that stage, but it would have continually made the next couple of stages that much harder. So, 3rd place, all in all, not bad. Let's see if we got any bonuses. So, first off, confirmation on the stage win profile. Our squad profile has jumped up. The registered riders has not, but what did we get? We got 2 bonuses. So, leader's jersey and a top 3. So, we got 2 pluses there. Not 1 bonus here, but Gibbons has climbed almost. I don't know if you can see it. There's a sliver left, little crescent moon. But we also have the sponsor. Mullebron's popularity has certainly gone up. That wasn't from this race necessarily, but speaking of Mullebron, about a week ago, became our first 4-star rider. Finally. We finally have a 4-star rider. 75 hills rating is still the best thing we can muster. 74 acceleration, 73 medium mountain. Decent. Still has a little ways to go. Still has some potential as a puncher. I'll make sure that is what he is still training as. Yes. So we finally have a 4-star guy. And then yesterday he was joined by Mason Samuels. We now have 2 4-star riders. Samuels, only 1 career victory, but he is suddenly looking pretty solid. Now, neither of these guys were at the Settimana race we just competed in. It would have been nice to have them there. But we have a mountain 74, medium mountain 75. Hills is very much not there, so we want to keep him at 90 or below in terms of his effort. Pushing 95 is going to just slow Samuels down, so he's a steady climber. 75 stamina though, 73 recovery, 73 acceleration, so he does have a little ability to separate. Tricky situation without that hills rating. Downhill 76 though, and he's still filling out. He's still looking nice, and he's still got a full star to go, particularly as a climber. We're going to get him well into the high 70s. Certainly our first. I mean, he's our first to hit a 74 mountain. He's our first to hit a 75 medium mountain. And you can see where our 2 guys are. We have our more punchy one. We have our more climber-oriented one. Samuels is supposed to be more well-rounded, but I have not been training him as that. I'm training him as a climber. Yes. Yeah, definitely not as GC, not as a stage racer. Time trialing is already almost maxed out and just a 63, so he's not going to be effective there. Just a pure climber for him. But yes, we are finally breaking into that 4-star territory. 2 guys have made it to 4-star. A 3rd one? Will that be enough? Is that our ticket to Continental Pro for next season? I sure hope it is, but I'm not sure that it is. It's going to get us a hell of a lot closer than what we've been. And we weren't that far off, so I'm hoping that this is going to push us to that next step. It's only the end of March, but we are doing so well. 23rd in the rankings. We are the highest ranked Continental team in the world. 936 points already is a fantastic start to this season, with a whole lot of season left to go. We've already achieved 2/3 of the total points we scored all last year in less than half of our season here. So good chances that we are going to exceed that by some margin this year. And like last season, Girmay is into that top 10 in the rankings, has a good chance to get that bonus for Eritrea in the training structure in the coming season. We didn't get it this year, but he's got good odds that he'll get it for next year. And it wasn't about position. It wasn't about how high ranked he was. It has to do with odds, right? There's a random chance, but you have to achieve a certain status to get that whatever chance there is percentage-based chance, and we just didn't happen to get it. But he's looking likely to be in position to have that chance once again for the coming season. But again, it's only March. A lot of season left to go here. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.